Bye. Cute bird. The ale. See? Leave the bird alone. Leave the bird alone. Squawk, squawk. Cracker, walla walla. Ooh. Ooh. People everywhere. Name's Flindo. I own a provisioning shop in Moonshade and I have important connections there. So thou another stranded victim of Hawk and his childish fear of storms. Or thou here to investigate the curious disappearance of Mistress Deborah's good husband. Hawk, that bag of wind, calls himself a sailor. Ha! Now I'm asking thee, what manner of captain would strand me and poor dumb Cain, paying passengers, mind thee, having this little backwater in because of some storm? So I went to the pikemen. Everyone knows that the pikemen guard the roads and towns. They noted for their honesty. I thought perhaps they could persuade Hawk to abandon his ploy for more money and sell for Moonshade, as he should. Made an appropriately large donation to their coffers, but I did not expect them to waylay Hawk to rot in some jail cell. So that what comes of not knowing the difference between leopards, bears and wolves. I find it hard to believe that a man such as Hawk, with a ship such as the Arabella, would fear any storm, magical or otherwise. There are too many odd events connected to these storms to discount their unusual nature, but all such tales speak of danger on land. I think Hawk's reluctance to sail lies more at the bottom of an empty mug and an empty coffer. Disappearance occurred immediately after I arrived here. I recall that one morning Mistress Deborah was beside herself with worry because Angus was nowhere to be found. I told her not to worry herself too much. Sometimes a man will feel too constricted at home and need to wander for a bit. She wouldn't be dissuaded. Sent for Argus. Argus's oldest son inherited more than a little bit of his father's temper, always dreamed of being a fighter. No surprise when he travelled to Monitor to join the pikemen. Not all good came of it, however. He found himself some trouble down there, so I've heard. There's been bad blood between him and Wilfred ever since he left here. Wilfred is Angus' younger brother. After Angus left, Angus raised Wilfred very strictly. So Wilfred holds Angus in no great esteem. Wilfred was always a willful, snobbish sort of child. In my own opinion, he needed just to have his head knocked to a time or two to deflate that ego of his. Angus was stricken when Wilfred left to become a knight. That's one to answer Argus' steel, my lord. Should not mention this to him. Seems that Argus' temper found him a duel with a boy from another command. Argus killed the boy, apparently without giving him any quarter. Sad business for a fighter. This was a big man. I can't see how harm could befall him without alerting the whole inn. I think perhaps he took a notion to leave and go adventuring. He had a strange sense of humour and a powerful temper. Who knows? Perhaps he became angry at Mistress Deborah and walked away. Mistress Deborah is a sweet-natured lady, too good-hearted to be an innkeeper sometimes. Recently begun making the trips with my father when Donald hired her to do the cooking. That was before she married Angus. Poor woman. First Theron and then her husband. Theron was a worker here. Mistress Deborah took him in and gave him work, a place to stay. He was not very bright. Like I said, sometimes Mistress Deborah is too kind for her own good. Anyway, Theron was caught in one of those storms and no one has been able to find him since. Donald was Angus' father. He was a good hard-working man. Good thing Donald was not anything like his father, silverplate and pate. I doubt that Mistress Deborah would ever have given Angus a second look. I think Angus dissipated exactly like his grandfather did. Silverpate is one who built this inn. Everyone says Silverpate was a pirate who grew too old for the sea, went searching for a way to become respectable. It's part of his treasure to construct this place. Jesus. There are rumours in Moonshade that he hired a mage for some reason, but I've never been able to confirm it. Say he was a very suspicious man. Silverpate disappeared when Donald was still a young man. Everyone thinks the treasure is still hidden here somewhere. Although I'm not mage, I'm an influential man in Moonshade because my shop provides the staples of all life. That secluded island, why I even know the Mage Lord's mistress. If we ever leave this forsaken inn, my lord, perhaps I can obtain thee an audience with the Mage Lord himself. He trusts me implicitly. Ask me again when we arrive. May find some of the mages are very reclusive and will not speak to thee without proper introduction. Look for a young lad talking to a parrot. That'll be Kane. Witless lad do not have enough sense to stay clear of Insorcia. Comes asking. Oh, Jesus. Comes asking if Insorcia was a mage. Would Insorcia help him and he'll find his lost brother. Kane does not have the sense of a cat. I know what any non-monitoring knows, my lord. Leopards are on the 3 commands: control the tower, share the rule, bears, control the fawn tower, wolves, control the tower near here, sleeping bull, friendlies for all the commands, Arabella. Fine ship, good lines and fast running before a stiff breeze. I've heard the Hawk had some sort of enchantment laid on her so she could not be sailed without him on board. Mainly more of his idle boasts. Treasure, don't ask me. Silver Pate was a pirate who knows what such man would have hidden. Personally, I think that there were any treasure long since been found. If none hath been found, there never was any treasure. She'd ask Mistress Deborah about all that knows that one day no one could find Silver Pate and he was never found. Donald took over the inn and then nothing more towards up until Theron disappeared. Phil Bercio is quite a ladies' man. What woman would not jump at the opportunity to win the Mage Lord's favour? For now, Frigidazi holds the Mage Lord's eye, and from what I have seen, Phil Bercio seems to have found a way to thaw the charms of that cold mage. Ask me about that again if we ever saw Moonshade, and I relished him more, but for now, only makes me angry with Hawk for stranding me here. Insorcia I want to avoid if ever there was one. Mages wonder when Vasculio took Insorcia as an apprentice. Temper like that's not good in a mage. And I consider Vasculio's interests well, it is enough to make a body worry. And that's what happened about the Adept's daughter. No one's surprised when the Council of Mages stepped in and exiled Insorcia, except maybe Insorcia himself. I was too well not to ask too closely about who she is and Lord. Made it very protective of their privacy and their pride. So I say that Insorcia took a fancy to the girl, and when she would not give him the time of day, using magic to persuade her to see him. I was surprised the council punished him with a simple exile. I thought it would have gone to the Mountains of Freedom for his crime. Mountains of Freedom. Speak that name quietly, my lord. Although there was never reason to learn too much about it. Long ago, those mountains were full of ore. Many spent their lives mining it. But most of the veins were empty when they uncovered the stone heart. Never repeat that word in public, or they will find a personal view of the Mountains of Freedom. Stone heart can be used to create another mineral, a strange reagent that magnifies magical power, especially death spells, and it's very dangerous. Anyway, after it was found, the mines were sealed until Phil Bercio became the Mage Lord, that is. The Mage Lord must be an adept, rules all of Moonshade. Although the Mage Lord's power is great, it's held to check by the other members of the Council of Mages. Being that mages are by nature egotistical, the Council of Mages is only open to other adepts, peers of the Mage Lord. The presence on the council is meant to keep the Mage Lord from becoming too tyrannical. Phil Bercio is an ambitious man. He's also a man of many passions. All in Moonshade were happy when he became Mage Lord, and Bercio would have it that he's a popular ruler. He would enjoy the powers of his office without fearing rivals. So he filled the mines with all manner of magical traps and made it a prison for his enemies. He said that if thou can escape from the depths of stone, thou art free and vindicated of any charges against thee. But as of yet, none have proven themselves innocent, if thou takest my meaning. Please don't tell me I've not heard of that legend. It's not around for any of this, mind thee. It wasn't even born yet, and Insorcia isn't as young as he appears, being a mage and all. My father talked about it enough. Happened when he was a mere boy. Years ago, there was an experiment expecting plenty amongst the mages. There were not nearly as many restrictions as there are now. Vasculio specialised in death magic, not like Mortegro. Mind thee, no, Vasculio did not want to speak with the dead, he wanted to cause death. It's quite none too particular if it was a quick death or not. Anyhow, soon his research even upset the Council of Mages. When the council went to deliver Vasculio an ultimatum, found him indeed so horrible that it was determined he was no longer human, put him to death, but his tomb was broken up and empty before a week had passed. They say that somehow he still lives to practice his dark arts. Restrictions. Well, now there are quite a number of them. I only know a few, not being mage. Let's see, certain creatures can't be summoned within the confines of the city. It's come to light after some damn full mage summons a dragon that burns half the city. Only mages approved by the council may sell death spells. The council must be notified of all research and experiments. There, that's all I can remember. If you wish to know more, should speak to a mage. Mortegro is fine, a bit flighty at times, but all mages are, if you ask me. True speciality is speaking with the dead. Ale is what Kane calls that parrot of his. Certainly shows a great enthusiasm for the brew, to be sure. Not unusual for a bird, mind thee, but a trick most likely taught to by some sailor before the lad found it. Does look terrible. Oh, God. My name is Migim. I'm the librarian on Monk Isle. I've been awaiting thine arrival. It's my duty to scribe and care for the prophecies of Zenka. It was I that found the passages that told of thy coming. Of balance. It was quite fine, my lord. I've been uncovering many small things over the years in the passages beneath the abbey. This is the first time I found something as large as a chest. It's a pity that the scroll that accompanied the amulet was so fragile. It was one of the oldest I've found. All I was able to make out before it disintegrated was the name of the amulet that was used near the Serpent gates. This means there is more yet to be discovered. I shall certainly continue my search. Zenka's writing follow no order and convoluted and vague. We spent many years since her disappearance trying to decide if some passage hath already happened or if one event will follow another. She was a very wise woman. She foretold the storms that brought thee to our land and saw the end of the world. Those who believed in her visions banded together to study her words so we might be able to avert the fate she foresaw. Within Zenka's holy writings is the passage when at last the great scales unhinge, the overburdened world shall be torn asunder by the opposing forces. No, not though I'd hazard to guess it refers to the forces of good and evil. Great scales could mean anything: music scales, map scales, snake scales, weight scales. The events in the prophecies are wild and connected by no frame that we've been able to discover. Great storms, the containers of hope smashed, lost love forgiven and restored, we still seek that meaning. I think it was not a young woman, Slegnor, after she disappeared from our midst. We found a freshly inked passage that promised to return when the end was near. I always thought she had discovered some way to ensure that she would live to see her prophecies revealed, though I don't know how. Must be cautious in aiding thee, my lord, but rest assured I will prompt thee as much as possible. It is written that a hero from another world will come that right the disorder in our land. That is you. It is also written that treachery will stop thy steps in the beginning of thy quest. That is why I am here. Not all of Zenka's followers believe that we should take direct action in aiding thee. However, Foxer and I disagree. Monk Isle is where the followers of Zenka dwell, and a few believers remain to study and contemplate the mystery of her words. Few are not willing to devote their time to waiting on events that may take centuries to unfold. Faith is not an easy thing. I believe that attempts will be made on thy life soon. Perhaps by being forewarned thou wilt be able to avoid it. I cannot tell thee who to avoid here, Slegnor. I arrived here only a few days ago, and I remained in the barn for much of the time. I thought it wise to attract as little noise as possible. Now that thou art here, feel assured that I will remain vigilant against anything that would deter thee from thy destiny. I am not in power to tell thee more of the quest that lies before thee. If I were to tell thee, thou mightst be prejudiced by my words and overlook a crucial event. Well, welcome, sleeping bold, brave pikeman. I am Byron, a gleeman or minstrel, if thou wilt. I know many tales, tunes of valour and adventure. For those with an adventurous spirit, I can tell you of the northern savages. For those who wish to hear of a lost civilization, tell you of the people who left the ruins in this continent. For those who would hear of a tale of bitter bravery, I can tell you of the Lost King. Northern savages. Once thou dost leave the warm lands of man, thou hast come into the realm of northern savages. These creatures have faces that strongly resemble that of a normal man. They are covered head to foot in shaggy fur pelt. Some say these creatures are some lost tribe of man that have adapted to the cold. Still others claim that the savages are a mage-created race that guards some great mystical secret. None can say if they are intelligent. They build no structures and speak no recognisable language. There's also a song about the northern savages. Would you like to hear it? Yes. Alright. Was that it? Far away in the cold white north there lives a vicious band. With soft grey fur they walk about on two legs just like men. Do not fool thyself to think that they might be a pretty robe. If thou go hunting them, thou shalt never return home again. If thou hast enjoyed my song, I appreciate a small contribution to my room and board. Yeah, I've got coins. Date. Many thanks. Another song. No, lost culture. Long ago, for any of the cities thou knowest today were built, there was a race of men who worshipped the three great elemental serpents. Some followed one of fire, others followed one of ice, still others followed one of earth. As only the serpent of earth could withstand both fire and ice, of the other serpents it possessed the most power. The fire and ice serpents were violently opposed to each other, were held in check by the serpent of earth. Then the serpent of earth lost power. Fire and ice serpents warred for supremacy. When the battle ended, it mattered not which serpent had won, for the land was destroyed and all the worshippers lay dead. Lost King. In the north of here stand two castles, seemingly left empty by the ravages of time, but neither is truly empty. They both hold the ghosts of trust betrayed. In one majestic castle a lady waits for a faithless lover, who pledged his love and never returned. In the other, a father and ruler, driven mad for the loss of daughter and erstwhile friend, took his people beyond the cares of time. All the trapped souls await the return of one whose return the way of one and something. All wait for the return of the lost king and revenge. Wait, what are they talking about? It seems, but no, it could not be. Has any more to tell of this lost king? Do you know his name? Few in truth have ventured within the castle, lord. They fear the wrath of she who dwells there. None have ever returned from the other castle, but the name that is given to the lost king is Lord Shamino. It can't be. There must be some mistake. There's a song about the lady. Would you care to hear it? It's a sad ballad indeed. Long ago lived a maid as fair as the summer morn. She loved a king, a noble king, who left her all forlorn. He pledged his heart and sailed away, never to return again. Her heart did break and fade away to an icy northern wind. Song about the castle, yeah. Once this land was ruled by kings, one old, one young, but friends true. Then one day the young king sailed away, and the old king lost his mind. Played by goblins and treachery vile, the old king went too far, killed those he would protect, and threw himself from the White Dragon Tower. Yes, of course. Ultima 1. Castle of the White Dragon. Shamino had his own castle. Yes. Further, you noble sir, I would sing a heart-rending ballad or perhaps long-lost lore, of course, although I sing to entertain the others. Got some small token of appreciation, singing is thirsty business. Lore. I think this is the right key. I'll tell the tale of vaulting ambition laid low by the hands of time. Far away, near where the sun doth rise, there once the mountain stood. It called itself the pinnacle of earth until the earthquakes came. And now that mountain, tried by fire and ice, lies crushed beneath another's dream. Ballad. Yeah. New song. Look carefully when thou art dreaming, never stray too far, for there's one who's waiting to trap thy very soul. See the balance slipping in the fight between ill and good. Thou shalt walk to find the treasure thou seekest. Bye.